The next topic is animal cell culture media. The cell culture system. There are two types of cell culture systems. One is monolayer culture system and another one is suspension culture system. Monolayer culture system includes the cell which require substratum for attachment and then they grow. And suspension culture system involves the cells which grow in liquid medium or which float freely into the culture medium. Okay, so this suspension culture system include blood cells and transformed cells. Monolayer culture system includes all other animal cells. Now, on the basis of cell morphology, there are different types of cells that are cultured using animal cell culture techniques. So, they are divided in three types. One is epithelial like, which are attached to the substrate and appears flattened and polygonal in shape. Another one is lymphoblast like cells. These cells, lymphoblast like cells, these are blood cell types, do not attach to any substratum and remain in suspension with spherical shape. And fibroblast like cells, these are elongated cells attached to substrate, appear elongated and bipolar. See, these are fibroblast cells which are elongated, epithelial cells which have polygonal shape. These are neural cells which looks like a network. We know the shapes of neurons. It has axons and dendrites, endothelial cells. Then these are the culture vessels are used for culturing animal cells. These are tea flasks and these are normal culture flasks. These are different colored medium which you can see here. These colors are observed because different indicators are added. pH indicators are added into the medium which shows change in pH if culture is contaminated. Now, conditions needed for cell culture in order for cells to grow. These are the important conditions that are required for cell culture. First is you should have proper growth medium which supports the growth of cells, growth of selected cells on selected medium. Then the type of growth container or fermenter depending on cell type. If you are culturing say cells which require substratum, you need to grow them in a petri dishes or in tea flask. And if you want to culture lymphoblast like cells or transform cells, you need to have a fermenter, not fermenter exactly, suspension culture container. Fermenter you can use for any type of cell culture. If say you need to grow cells which attach to the substrate which require adherence for their growth, in a fermenter you can use say beads or fibers which supports cells for their growth, where cells can attach themselves and can grow. Then you need to maintain the temperature required for the proper cell growth. pH have to be maintained, proper gas exchange must be there. Aseptic conditions, stringent aseptic conditions are needed for animal cell cultures. Methods for monitoring cell growth, you need to observe cells daily, how they are growing, how much, if whether they have contaminated or not, what is the cell growth rate, that is at what rate they are doubling. Okay, and safety measures and implication in case if you are developing vaccines by using viruses. Okay, you have to follow specific safety measures. Then the major development in cell culture technology. The first development is use of antibiotics which inhibit the growth of contaminants. Then use of trypsin use of trypsin, sorry, trypsin is, एक मिनट, so this trypsin is a protein which digests proteins, specifically cell adhesion molecules, which attach cells to the substrate or to the support or to one another. The cells are attached to one another for their proper communication, and cells are attached to the substrate for their growth. So this trypsin digests those cell adhesion molecules so as to release them from the substrate, and then you can subculture those cells. Third is use of chemically defined medium, okay, which supports growth of cells. So growth medium is a liquid or gel designed to support the growth of the cell. The culture medium. Now the choice depends on the type of cell to be propagated. Okay. Commonly used medium are GMEM, EMEM and DMEM. Media is supplemented with the antibiotic like penicillin and streptomycin to prevent the cultures from being contaminated. And the media, animal cell culture media, are filtered because the this these media they have certain compounds which may denature because of steam sterilization, high heat. So these medias are filter sterilized and stored, not incubated. These are stored at 4 degrees Celsius in aliquots. Okay. Rules for working with the cell culture. Now you have to find a happy environment for the cells where cells can grow happily. To cell culturist, a happy environment means environment that allows cells to increase in number. Okay, their doubling number must be high. When the conditions are just right, some cultured cells express their happiness and with their environment by carrying out important in vivo physiological or biochemical functions. If you provide proper nutrients for the cells, for proper growth requirements like gas exchange, pH, temperature to the cell cultures, those cell cultures grow happily and express same characteristics as that they express in vivo. Okay, in their natural environment they express those characteristics same in vitro. Okay, such as for example muscle contraction and secretion of hormones or enzymes. To provide this environment, it is important to provide cells with the appropriate temperature, substrate for attachment and proper culture medium. Temperature is usually set at the same point as the body temperature. Most cells require 36 to 37 degrees Celsius temperature. This temperature range is usually maintained by use of carefully calibrated and frequently checked incubators. Now for animal cell culture, CO2 incubators are used. Okay, remember CO2 incubators are used. Substrate. Now the substrate is a anchorage dependent cells. They need a support for attachment and then only they can grow. They cannot grow without attaching to any surface. So this surface is either known as substrate or substratum, and the cells which grow on the substrate are known as anchorage dependent cells. Either glass vessels are used and specially treated plastics are used. These glasses and plastics are treated with the chemicals or X-rays or gamma rays to provide positive charge to these surfaces, so that negatively charged animal cells can get attached to such substrate easily. However, attachment factors such as collagen, gelatin, fibronectin and laminin, these all are cell adhesion molecules. Okay, cell adhesion proteins which help in attaching cells to the substrate and to one another. Collagen, gelatin, fibronectin and laminin, these are present in extracellular matrix. These can be used as a substrate coating to improve growth and functions of normal cells derived from brain, blood vessels, kidney, liver and skins. So these collagen, gelatin, fibronectin and laminin, these are extracted from individuals, from mammals, and for used as attachment factor. These are added to the, say, glass vessel or any other vessel in which you are going to culture the cells. These are added. These are then support the cell for their growth. Cells attach these factors, attach these proteins easily because these are same as in vivo. So cells find happy environment in vitro as well if you add these natural ingredients which provide natural support to the cells. Often normal anchorage dependent cells will also function better if they are grown on permeable or porous surfaces like gel or agar or any other artificial fibers. Many specialized cells can truly be happy only when grown on a porous substrate in a serum free medium with appropriate mixture of growth and attachment factors. Okay, now the culture medium is most important complex factor to control making cells happy. Besides meeting the basic nutritional requirement of the cells, culture should also have growth factors that should have ingredient which regulate the pH, osmolarity and provide essential gases O2 and CO2. The food portion of the culture medium consists amino acids, vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates. Okay, these allow cells to build new proteins essential for their growth and function and to carry out necessary metabolism. The growth factors and hormones help to regulate and control cells' growth and functional characteristics as in vivo. Instead of being added directly to the medium, they are added in undefined manner by 5 to 20% of animal serum to the medium. Okay, growth factors and hormones, they are not added separately. Instead, they all are present in the serum. So serum is added at a concentration of 5 to 20% of the volume of the medium. Media also control pH and buffer cells from abrupt changes in pH. Usually CO2 bicarbonate buffer systems are used. Buffers are used for maintaining the pH, such as HEPS, which maintains the pH in a range 7 to 7.4. When using a CO2 bicarbonate buffer, it is necessary to regulate CO2 dissolved in a medium. So this is done using incubator with CO2, that is CO2 incubator that controls CO2 concentration between 2 to 10%. Okay, 2 to 10% CO2 concentration is controlled using CO2 incubator, maintained using CO2 incubator. However, some media use CO2 bicarbonate buffer that does not require additional CO2 but must be used in sealed vessels. Not dishes or plates are used, sealed vessels are used. And then the osmolarity which regulate the flow of substances in and out, which regulate the membrane potential and flux of the cells, transport of the cells. It is controlled by addition of or subtraction of salts in the culture medium. Media requirements. Media needs bulk ions like sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium. All are involved in transport mechanism and maintaining osmolarity. Trace elements like iron, zinc and selenium. Sugars like glucose is the most common source. Amino acids. There are 13 essential amino acids which are not synthesized by the cells. They have to be added into the cells. Vitamin, B group vitamins are generally added. Serum contain large number of growth factors. Neutralize toxins. Neutralize trypsin traces if present, and has undefined effects on interaction between the cells and substrates. Contain peptide hormones as well and hormone like growth factors. So the serum is very important one in animal cell culture medium. Antibiotics such as penicillin or streptomycin are added. These are not required for the growth but for controlling contamination. Okay, prevent contamination. These are fed 2 to 3 times a week. But adding more antibiotics is also dangerous, because if you go on adding antibiotics in each and every stage of your culture, the contaminants which are present may acquire resistance against that antibiotic. So if you are going to use antibiotic continuously, you have to take care that you are using different types of antibiotics rather than only using single antibiotic. Temperature required is 37, pH is 7.2 to 7.4, humidity, gas phase which maintains CO2, visible light. Visible light can have adverse effect. Light induce production of toxins, and cell should be cultured therefore in a dark environment, exposed to room light as little as possible. Visible light have adverse effect. Remember, cells are cultured in a dark. So whenever you put a cell cultures in CO2 incubator, inside the CO2 incubator there is no light. Okay, and you should expose very little to the room light. Then aseptic conditions have to be maintained. UV cabinet. UV must be on before 20 minutes of working in laminar airflow hood. Swab all the bottles tops and necks with the 70% ethanol. If working on bench, use Bunsen burners. Flame all the bottlenecks and pipettes by passing very quickly through the hottest part of the flame. Avoid placing caps, pipettes down onto the bench. You should always hold it in your hands by following proper techniques of addition. Practice holding bottle caps with the little finger. Work either left to right. This is very important. Work either left to right or a right to left. Your sequence must be similar so that all the material goes to one side once you finished using it. Okay, if you are say you have kept all the materials on left side, say pipettes, serum which you are going to add, then the animal cell culture medium that you are going to add, pH indicator that you are going to add, or cell lines if you want to transfer, all the material is kept at left side, and then you add in your culture vessel. Okay, and then keep all the things to the right side. So you avoid the confusion that which material you have used and which is not used. This also reduces the risk of contamination. Clean up spills immediately and always leave the workplace neat and tidy. Never use the same media bottle for different cell lines. Never use the same media bottle for different cell lines. If you are working on 2 to 3 cell lines at a time, you have to use different media bottles. So therefore, when you prepare medium, you have to store it in aliquots form, in short volumes. Say in each, if you are preparing say 100 ml of the medium, you have to store it in 10 ml aliquots, so that at one time you are using different bottles of medium if for different cultures. If the caps are dropped or bottles touched unconditionally, replace them with the new ones. Necks of the glass bottles prefer heat at least for 60 seconds of temperature at 260 seconds at 200 degrees Celsius. Never use stock of materials during handling of cells. See, you must not use stocks of say antibiotic or of the medium when you handle cells, because these stocks may contaminate, these cells may contaminate the stocks, and therefore all your media, all your whatever serum stock you are using will be of no use. So you should never use stock. You should always use diluted forms of the medium when you are working on cell lines or cells. Then this you can just read. I have already sent you PPT. Phenol red is used as pH indicator that gives red color to the medium when the pH is 7.2 to 7.4. If it falls because of contamination, pH from red color changes to orange and then yellow. If the contamination is heavy, you will find the change in color of medium from red to yellow. If the contamination is low, color changes to red and orange. By observing media with naked eyes, you can see the color if the media is contaminated, or say if the culture is contaminated, and then you can observe under microscopes. These you can just go read. I have already sent you PPT. These are not as that See, L-glutamine is essential amino acid added in most of the cultures. Non-essential amino acids are added to reduce metabolic burden onto the cell, because if all the cells have to synthesize all the things on their own, their growth rate reduces. So if you provide them all the things, the cells grow nicely, happily. Growth factors like insulin is added to stimulate glucose transport. Antibiotics, antimycotics are added for reducing the risk of contamination. Serum is added, provides growth factors, aids attachment, neutralizes toxins. But these are the disadvantages of serum. If you use serum, serum may have infectious agents like prions or viruses in it. Composition of the serum vary each time you add. It is expensive. So whenever you are going to use serum, this serum is first heat inactivated, so that all the viruses and prions are inactivated at 56 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes, and also disrupts complements and immunoglobulins. Antibodies are naturally present in the serum. So if these antibodies, if they are specific against your cells which you are going to culture, that will be a problem. So these are the two types of medium: natural media and artificial media. Natural media, name itself suggests, includes natural biological fluids, tissue extracts and blood clots, plasma clots. Artificial media includes all the synthesized material, BSS, balanced salt solutions, basal media and complex media. Okay. Natural media are very useful, but lack of knowledge of exact composition. Since you use natural things like clots, plasma, serum, etc. Artificial media are of four types: serum containing, serum free, chemically defined and protein free. Wait, huh? You can read these things. This is the buffering system, how the cell buffer themselves. So CO2 incubator provides CO2 which enters into the cell, combines with the water, converted to carbonic acid. This carbonic acid is converted to, this is weak acid, so dissociates and forms bicarbonate ions and H plus ion. These H plus ions, then this bicarbonate is again dissociated to carbonate ion and H plus. So this H plus maintains pH of the system. This is the criteria for media selection. It should provide immediate survival when transferred from in vivo to in vitro. It should prolong the survival of the piece of tissue or cells. It should provide indefinite growth of the cells, and media must be able to carry out specialized functions, must develop specialized functions into the cells. So MEM, minimum essential medium, is used for adherent cells, and RPMI 1640 is used for suspension cells. These are different cell lines, and the medium which is used for these cell lines use and application for what, which media is used for what. Now this you can read. Okay. So this was about media. Then the cell viability is checked by dye exclusion assay. Remember, dye exclusion assay. Dye exclusion, that it inhibits uptake of dye, that does not allow this trypan blue dye to enter into the cell. Therefore, dye exclusion assay. Trypan blue dye is permeable only to non-viable dead cells, whereas it is impermeable to the live cells. So stain the cell with the trypan blue and load on hemocytometer. Calculate percent viability. Percent viability is equal to number of unstained cells into 100 upon number of total cells. You have to count the cells using hemocytometer. Live cells, dead cells, unstained cells, unstained, that is live cells. Total number of cells, stained and unstained, into 100 will give you percent viability. These are common cell lines which are cultured. HeLa, MCF7 breast cancer cell line, HL60 leukemia blood cancer cell line, Vero cell line, and Koch cell lines. Then the contamination. These are different types of contaminants observed in animal cell culture media: yeast, fungi, viruses, bacteria, and mycoplasma. Yeast, fungi, viruses, bacteria, and mycoplasma. These are the characteristics of microbial contamination. The very first characteristic is change in pH. Now, if the bacterial contamination is present, pH drops. If it is a yeast contaminant, pH change with a heavy infection. And if fungi, pH changes few times, because fungi, they grow at acidic pH, mostly at acidic pH. Cloudy medium, if bacterial contaminants shimmering in spaces between the cells, rods or cocci are observed. If it is a yeast contaminant, the spaces between the cells appear round. And if it is a fungi, thin filamentous mycelia are observed under microscope. Sometimes clumps of spores are observed. Okay, so to cross contamination. Next is cross contamination. Cross contamination of a cell line with a cell from another type. If you are working on two cell lines, different cell lines together, say MCF7 and Koch cells, one cell line may contaminate other. Say MCF7 may contaminate Koch cell line. This occurs if you are using same pipettes, same media bottles, same stocks for culturing both the cells. So, how to avoid this cross contamination? Only one cell line under the clean bench at a time must be cultured, and separate media bottles for each cell lines must be used. Then how to detect cross contamination? It is very difficult to detect cross contamination. Indications are changes in growth rates, morphology of product characterization, as well as non-reproducible results. Applicable detection techniques are detection of isozymes, DNA sequencing, you can perform PCR, and southern blot analysis. effects of biological contamination. Biological contamination compete for nutrients with the host cells. Secreted acidic or alkaline byproducts by contaminants ceases the growth of host cell. Then degraded arginine and purine inhibits the synthesis of histones and nucleic acid. Therefore, cells which you are growing in a culture, they cannot synthesize any new nucleic acids, they cannot replicate, and contaminants produce hydrogen peroxide H2O2. This is superoxide radical which is directly toxic to the cells. Then how to detect contamination? Indicators of contamination are turbidity of the culture medium, change in growth rate, change in pH or color of the medium. Multinucleated cells are observed under the microscope, and granular spaces, graining, appearance, vacuolization into the cells, and cell lysis. Yeast, bacteria and fungi show visible effect on the culture, whereas mycoplasma detected only by staining, DNA staining with a fluorescence dye Hoist 33258. When you stain the culture with a suspected culture with this dye, if the mycoplasma contaminants are present, that will show you pinpoints of fluorescence. Mycoplasma are also detected by EIA, enzyme immunoassay, which detect enzymes specific to mycoplasma, or monoclonal antibodies can be detected by PCR. The best and the oldest way to eliminate contamination is to discard infected cell lines directly. If contaminants are present, you should not proceed for removing. You should not try to remove the contamination by adding more and more antibiotics. You have to discard the culture directly. Before discarding, you must follow proper regulations. You should sterilize those cultures using steam sterilizers, autoclaves. These are the basic equipments needed for cell culture: lab airflow, incubation facilities, refrigerators, inverted microscope, and tissue culture wares. Okay, so we'll start next topic later.